All right, you guys, want to thank you for being on today. My name is Beth Phillips, and I've been using essential oils for the past 7 years, and they have become such an asset in our home for everyday things that we kind of wonder what we would do without them. And in times like this, it becomes even more of a question of, oh my gosh, what would we do if we didn't have our oils? So I'm really glad so many of you are tuning in. I know that you're on Zoom, many of you for the first time, and I hope that you find this as a resource with our new lifestyle over the next few weeks. This may be a tool that you utilize more often than you would think. It's a really fun way to be able to communicate with people. You can see video. I'm going to be able to share my screen in just a minute. And so it's a really fun way to be able to talk to people that are out of town, with family, to stay in touch with them. And right now, maybe even your neighbors, just because you might not be going outside for the moment. So I am going to get kicked off with a presentation. We're going to be talking about basic essential oil knowledge today, with a focus on our immune system and the best ways that we can work on keeping a strong immune system. That's something that is, again, something that we do every day, but really during this time, something that we're focusing on more prevalently. So I'm excited to get into some of the oils with you and the different ways that we get to use them. And hopefully it's something that you find value in. And if you want to get started with them, we've got some cool packages put together for you as well. So I'm going to get my screen going. And then if you guys can let me know that you can see it, really? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, right on.
My signature. It's on the ball.
Okay. All right, so essential oils made easy. That's really the goal of us coming together, is so that we understand they are like complex compounds, but at the same time, they're really easy for us to be using in our home. Hang on, let me see if I can turn off my messages. Okay, I won't worry about it. Okay, so we're going to talk about 3 cool things about essential oils today. And if by the time we're done together, you understand these 3 cool things, you really have learned quite a bit about essential oils, because as I just mentioned, they are really complex compounds that do a number of things in our body, but when it comes down to it, they are simple, and they're simple to use, and they offer a variety of options for our wellness. So first thing about essential oils, it's really important to understand, is how safe they are. They are 100% natural and safe, with no side effects and no addictions. We kind of joke about this because if you're an oiler, we kind of think of it as maybe we do have an addiction to them, but in a safe and healthy way. This is one of the best things that you can add into your home and to your bodies. They are extracts from plants that your body can utilize for a number of different purposes, and they hold some amazing health benefits for us. And what's really cool about doTERRA essential oils is they are certified pure therapeutic grade. So we know what we're getting inside of every bottle of oil. And right now, more than ever, I think people are thinking about purity and potency. And you know, when you get an oil from doTERRA, that it is guaranteed that it is safe and pure and therapeutic. It's very easy to find knockoffs everywhere around us. It could be in Walmart, or Michael's was even carrying them for a little while. And you can wonder why you can find a bottle of frankincense for $6.99. I guarantee you it does not hold the health benefits that you are looking for. You might find a lavender that smells nice, but it is not going to have the same therapeutic value. And that's why it's so important that we are conscientious about where we get our oils. And it's why we have all aligned ourselves with doTERRA, because of the amount of testing that they undergo and the integrity of the company, that if oils come in that don't meet their standards, they send them back to the growers, and they can be utilized in a different industry. They could be utilized in the perfume industry or something like that, but it is not going to be sold under doTERRA's name, because they know we're using it for various health needs, and that a lot of us do take them internally. So that's why they undergo at least 8 different tests on every single liter of oil that comes into doTERRA to make sure that there's no pesticides or contaminants, or they haven't been watered down or adulterated. That's another thing that happens with oils in different markets. You know, the more hands that the oil travels through before it gets to market, the more chances it has to be watered down and diluted, because that's how brokers make money. But with doTERRA, it is straight from farmer to doTERRA. It doesn't change hands. And so it's not getting watered down in order for somebody to make more profit off of it. And because of that reason, we have the potency that we have. We've got essential oils that are 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs. So for instance, one drop of peppermint oil, which is the one we're going to talk about here, is equal to around 28 cups of peppermint tea. So extremely potent. That's why you're only utilizing 1 to 3 drops at a time while you're using essential oils, because there's a lot packed into that tiny little drop of oil. Peppermint is one that we can use all 3 ways: aromatically, topically, and internally. And it's very energizing. It helps open up the airways. It's cooling to the body. So that is a good reason to think about having it on hand right now. If your body starts getting warmer than it should be, you can use peppermint on the bottom of your feet, along your spine, and on the back of your neck, and even on your temples here, just not too close to your eyes, because peppermint is very strong. As the vapors travel near your eyes, it's going to sting a little bit. It's not dangerous, but it's uncomfortable. And this is going to help keep your body cool. We can use it to relieve head tension. It's also a good one for aches and pains. So if you've got a sore shoulder or back or knee, you can take some peppermint with some coconut oil just to help spread it over a larger area and apply it to one of those areas, and it's going to help relieve pain and tension in the body. The next cool thing about essential oils is how effective they are. And this was one of the things that got me so excited about oils when I first started. I come from a hospital background. I worked in oncology and orthopedics for a number of years. And there are bugs that go around the hospital that are strong, and they're difficult for your body to get rid of. One of the coolest things about essential oils is how your cells are able to use them. So we've got threats to our cells that reside outside of the cell, and we've got oils that are really powerful against those. But then you've got threats that can actually enter the cell, and those are the ones that are the hardest to get rid of. And the really cool thing about essential oils is that your cell membrane, the brain of your cell, that does not allow a lot of man-made constituents to enter it because it's trying to keep you safe, it does allow essential oils in there because it recognizes all of the compounds in essential oils, because essential oils come from the earth. They're natural, they're plants, they haven't been doctored in any way. And so because the oils are carbon-based and our bodies are carbon-based as well, your cell membrane will actually allow the essential oil to pass through and work on the inside of the cell. So keep that in mind as we talk about some of the packages at the end. We've got one right now specifically that would be really good to have on hand because of the oils that were chosen in it. So we'll talk about that towards the end. The oil that it's going to talk about here is On Guard, and this is one of our favorite blends. It's the protective blend, and it was put together to promote healthy immune function. So of course, as we're talking about having a strong immune system, this would be one that we're using often. You can add a couple drops of this to your water and gargle with it and swallow. This is a really good first line of defense as we're starting. You know, when you're like, one of the tip-offs that you're starting to not feel good is you're like, I have a little trouble swallowing, or feels a little off here, my throat's scratchy. Gargling with that On Guard is going to help those areas keep their immune system strong. So On Guard is one you can add to your water. You can use it to make your own hand cleaning solutions. We've got recipes for that if you've got this on hand, or if you get it. You can end up making your own hand cleaning solutions at home. And you can also apply this to the bottom of your feet and along your spine and back of neck as well. You're going to hear those 3 spots a lot. They're really good spots for applying essential oils. With this one, because it does contain some of the spicier oils like cinnamon, cinnamon is a really good one, a really powerful hot oil to have on hand right now. It is inside of On Guard, but it is very warming. So you might want to dilute this oil with some coconut oil or almond oil or whatever you have on hand at home. Any of your oils you can feel free to dilute. It is not going to make them less potent. It's just going to help your skin be able to maybe not be so sensitive to it. It also helps the essential oils spread out over a larger area, because you don't need 6 drops of On Guard to go along your back. You just don't need that much oil. So you can take a couple drops of On Guard oil with some coconut oil, rub your hands together, and then spread it over a larger area. But On Guard is definitely one that you're going to want to have in your home. The third cool thing about essential oils is how affordable they are. So when we typically get sick, there's a lot of different bills that we can have to pay, going to the doctor and then paying our copay for the prescription. What we really appreciate about the essential oils is having them at home and the fact that they're pennies per dose. So we can work on a lot of different things at home with a few drops of oil applied a few times throughout the day, and typically you're spending under $1. So as you get these bottles, the larger bottles, the full-size bottles have like 250 drops of oil in them. If you're using a drop or 2 at a time, you've got 150 to 250 applications inside of this bottle. So as you break it down, it's really pennies per dose. And there's a lot of things that we can kind of nip in the bud at home that ends up saving us hundreds of dollars throughout the year in medical costs, because we're really helping our body do what it was designed to do and just giving it the tools to do so. So the one it talks about here is lavender. That's typically an oil that people are familiar with. It's very calming for the mind, great for your skin. If you get any kind of cuts or scrapes or burns, lavender is a good one that you can apply on there. It's also a good antihistamine. So if you are struggling with allergies, I know a couple weeks ago, a lot of our friends in California were really getting a lot of allergies going on. So lavender is one that we use along with lemon and peppermint, and it can help calm the histamine response in the body. So lots of different uses for lavender. So the 3 things that we just talked about, the 3 cool things about essential oils, is how safe they are, how effective they are, and how affordable they are. So next we're going to talk about the 3 ways that we can use them. The first one is aromatically. So that can be by adding them to a diffuser. If you guys don't have a diffuser yet, I highly recommend it. It's one of the funnest ways to use the oils. It's also really good at actually helping purify the air. And so really essential at this time, you know, as we're maybe staying home more and we want to make sure that the air inside of our home is clean. So some of the oils you could be diffusing in there would be like On Guard and Breathe would be really good choices. And another way that you can use them aromatically is putting a drop of oil in your hand and rubbing it together and inhaling. A lot of people will do this with an oil like peppermint or Breathe because it's going to help open up your airways. Also, aromatically is the quickest way to change mood. So if you find yourself with maybe a little heightened sense of anxiety, or stress going through this time, it would be a really good way to utilize your oils. It's just a drop of oil in your hand, rub your hands together, and take a deep breath. And I highly encourage you to contact the person that invited you to this webinar if you are wanting some help with stress and mood, and they're going to have their favorite recommendations for you. We all kind of have our own go-to oils that we love for stress and anxiety, and so reach out to them and be like, what should I be using now? And they're going to give you their favorite suggestions for that area. But really good for cleansing the air, taking it in this way. Not only can we breathe it in this way, but if you are really wanting to target the respiratory system, you can use it like this and take a deep breath into your lungs that way, and it's really going to help open up your respiratory system. So the oils that it talks about here are Wild Orange and Breathe. Wild orange is such a simple oil, you guys. This oil is like 10 bucks, literally $10. And it is an excellent uplifting oil for mood. It's invigorating, it's energizing. It is just like the happy oil. And you can also drink it in your water. It's one that we drink in our water often. And it's gonna help like clean out your body. It's gonna help uplift your mood. And it's literally 10 bucks. It's such a good deal. The other one that it talks about here is Breathe. And that's our respiratory blend. It's got a bunch of different oils in there with targeted support to the respiratory system for your lungs and your sinuses. And this is one that we use in the diffuser at night. And it's gonna help with keeping your airways open, especially if you are kind of fighting something. That seems to always peak at night. And so that's when we get really stuffy. And then if you can't breathe, it's hard to sleep. So having Breathe in your diffuser at night, put a few drops in there and leave it running. It's going to help keep your airways open. You can also, I'll even just take the bottle and kind of swipe a little bit of Breathe under here, and it helps as you're breathing through the night to keep your sinuses open. The next way we can use them is topically. And so you just want to use it where it makes sense. If you've got some discomfort in your head, you know, put it on your temples. If you've got a sore back, put it there. And just remember that you can always dilute. And doTERRA makes a fractionated coconut oil that is always in liquid form. So you can mix that with it. If you've got coconut oil in your kitchen that you use for cooking that is hard, but you know, you can put it in your hand and it goes liquid pretty fast, you can use that as well. So you just want a little bit of coconut oil, a couple drops of oil, and you can apply it to different areas of your body. And also remember that you can always apply oils to the bottom of your feet. That's always a great application spot. So if you've got maybe one of the more hot oils, so we've got oils like oregano and cinnamon and thyme, which are hot oils. It's really easy to apply them to the bottom of the feet because your feet have tougher skin. And so it's still going to be able to travel throughout your whole body in about 20 minutes, but you're not having to apply it to more sensitive skin, like maybe your chest. Or if you have to use an oil and you don't particularly care for the smell of it, put it on the bottom of your feet, put socks on. You're still going to get the benefits of what the oil can do, and you don't have to be smelling it constantly. So the oils it talks about here are Deep Blue, which is a blend that was put together for achy muscles and joints. This is typically every guy's first favorite oil because the men in our life have injuries. They've got things that they did to themselves at work. They've got things that they've done to themselves in sports that are catching up with them. And this is a way that they can try the essential oils out and see for themselves the benefit of them. You know, this isn't woo-woo, this isn't foo-foo stuff, this isn't anything like that. This is very scientifically based, and there's a ton of research that goes into how effective these are, but none of that means as much as just applying it to yourself and feeling it for yourself. So Deep Blue, if anybody's got any areas of them that are sore, this is one that you can apply topically, and you're gonna feel a difference in about 20 minutes. One thing to keep in mind for the men in your life, if they're using Deep Blue, after they apply it, they're going to want to wash their hands before they go to the restroom, or it's going to be a very pepperminty experience. And they'll probably only do it once, and then they will remember. But I got that tip from my husband. He said, always make sure to share it with the men. So after Deep Blue, wash your hands off. The next one is another blend called Digescen. And this is the digestive blend. So we can use this anytime we've got any kind of upset stomach, whether it's motion sickness, nausea, whether you're backed up or you're going too much. This is a neat illustration of how the oils work. So the oils are all working on bringing our body into balance. And the perfect example is Digescen. So you can use it whether you are backed up or whether you're going too much, because it's going to bring your body into balance. That's how all of the oils work. It's about bringing your cells and so that they're functioning the way that they're supposed to. So this is a good one that you can use topically. You can also add it to water and drink it if you want to, and it's gonna work either way. It's gonna help aid in digestion. So like feelings of bloating or cramping, or sometimes if you just ate too much and you don't feel good, you can apply this oil and you will start feeling better in a matter of minutes. This is one of the fastest acting oils. The third way that we can use them is internally, and this is specific to doTERRA. So because of the amount of testing that these oils go through, we are able to use them internally. So that can be dropping it straight under your tongue. That's what I'm doing with like copaiba and frankincense right now. You can also add it to your water. Just make sure you are drinking it out of glass and not plastic. So if you like to have your oils with you on the go, I get these glass water bottles. They have them at Walmart and Costco. They're not expensive, but then you can add a few drops of your citrus oil or your Slim and Sassy to your water and take it with you for the day. You can also put it inside of a veggie cap, which is going to help you take oils internally that maybe you don't want to taste. So if you look in one of the books, we've got a lot of resources where you're going to find a lot of recipes for different things. And sometimes you might have to take something like marjoram, clary sage, and oregano or something. And you don't really want to put that in your water. So you can make up your own little veggie cap and take it internally that way. So a lot of different ways that you can use your oils internally. How you know if you're able to take them internally is you're going to see on the side of the bottle supplemental facts that will say, for instance, it'll say dilute 1 drop in 4 ounces of liquid. That lets you know that it's safe to take internally. We have some blends and some single oils that are for aromatic and topical use only, and it will say that on the side of the bottle. So just make sure to check the bottle before you use it and to make sure that it's one that's regarded to take safe internally. So the one it talks about here is lemon. Lemon's a really easy one to take every day. This is going to help gently cleanse your body. A lot of people add lemon to their water, and which is great. The neat thing about the oil is it does come from the rind. So where lemon juice can be acidic and can be hard for the enamel on your teeth, lemon oil is actually alkaline. So it is not going to be hard for the enamel on your teeth, and you're still getting all of those citrus benefits. All the citrus oils are also natural mood elevators. So taking and drinking a citrus in your water every day is not only going to help cleanse your body, but it's also going to help naturally elevate your mood, which is always a good thing. Think of it for your kids, really important for them. I know with Nathan, I don't know with your kids, but I have to chase him around to drink water. And so I know when he's getting a citrus in his water, it's helping to detox his body. Because he probably doesn't drink as much water as he should, but at least this way he's getting some more cleansing in there. And the other one here is frankincense. And frankincense is a fantastic oil. It is one that you can use to promote calm feelings. So for right now, that's why I'm doing copaiba and frankincense under my tongue, is just to help promote those calm feelings. It's also really good for your cells. It's also anti-aging. So of course, those are all features that we love. But this one, you could take it in a capsule. If you don't like the taste, you can add it to your water, or for simplicity, you can just drop it straight under your tongue. But frankincense does a multitude of things in your body. All of it are wonderful, wonderful things for your cells. So this is a good way that we can help our cells to stay intact and for our cells to stay healthy. All right, so let me go back to this for a second. I wanted to talk about the 3 ways that we're using our oils. So you've got aromatically, topically, and internally. A lot of people will ask which way is best. There's really no best way. It kind of depends on what you're working on, what you're focusing on for your body, and then also like how are you going to use it the easiest? The point is to be using them consistently, and that's how we reap benefit from them. They don't hold as much benefit for us if they're just sitting on the shelf collecting dust. So whichever way that you're going to utilize them, utilize that. If you are working on an issue, then try to keep them in your system. The oils are in and out of your system in about 3 to 4 hours, which makes them really good for us. It makes them not store in our organs, which can be hard on your body. So your body's going to utilize what it needs and get rid of what it doesn't. So that also means that we need to be taking them. I kind of think of like morning, noon, and night. We want to be taking them consistently so your body has the tools in there to be working on things. So again, these are really potent. You don't need to be drinking 6 drops at a time, multiple times a day. You could be drinking 1 to 2 drops in your water 2 to 3 times a day, or 3 to 4 times a day if you're feeling like you're fighting something. And I just wanted to say that right now and be really clear, because I know a lot of people may have like some fear and panic that starts to kick in, and you don't need to be drinking half a bottle of your oils a day. They're extremely potent. So just keep in mind that you're typically using 1 to 3 drops at a time and using that oil 3 to 4 times a day. And that is sufficient. There are so many compounds inside of each oil that is going to be sufficient in what your body needs for that day. And your body's going to be so happy that you're providing it with these tools. So there's 3 different ways that you can get the oils. The first way that's available is retail. It's the most expensive way, and it's not what we have anybody do that's actually going to get started with oils. This is usually just if like you walked into a professional setting, like a chiropractor office or a salon, you may see oils offered at retail on their shelves. But it's the most expensive way to get the oils, so it's not how you're going to want to get started with them. The second way that we can purchase them is at wholesale. So think of it like Costco. It's $35 to get a wholesale membership, and then you save 25% off of retail every time you purchase over the next year. After that year, it renews for $25, but they send you a free bottle of peppermint, which is valued at over $20. So it's like $5 to renew for the following years, and you're going to get your peppermint once a year, brought to you by doTERRA. But this is like a good way to do it, because I love a deal, and the next one is even a better deal, so I'm going to show that to you. But at least getting a wholesale account, then anytime you go to reorder over the next year, you're going to be saving 25%. The third way that we can purchase them is below wholesale, and so that's going to come inside of one of these packages that I'm going to show you. These packages not only include your membership, so you don't have to pay the $35, they've actually been put together and priced below wholesale. So even if you purchase these all separately at wholesale, it would cost more than it's going to cost in these packages. And when you order this way, and you order in the future on a program that we have called Loyalty Rewards, you're going to actually be able to collect points that you can use to redeem towards free product. And this is the absolute smartest way to get the oils. Your points are going to start building quickly, and we never pay for the expensive oils that we want. Frankincense, sandalwood, helichrysum, as you get to know what these oils are and how special they are, they're rare, and so they're priced higher, but we don't have to pay for them out of pocket. I get all my vitamins, my toothpaste, all my oils, all that stuff through doTERRA, and then I build up these points and I save it for the more rare, expensive oils. So 3 ways to purchase: retail, wholesale, and then wholesale with free points. All right, so I'm going to go through 3 of my favorite kits at this moment, just to give you an idea of what it would look like to get started. So this is actually a brand new kit. It's called the Healthy Essentials Kit, and it's $249, so it's $83 below wholesale to get it grouped like this. And you're going to get a diffuser to use with your oils, and a lot of the oils we talked about today: Deep Blue, lavender, peppermint, Digestin, lemon, Breathe, and On Guard. And then you're going to get some oils we didn't talk about today, which are Copaiba, Balance, and Adaptive. All 3 of those are phenomenal oils that they just added to this package. Adaptive, I call, is just like a chill pill, and I think it would be really good to have on hand. It's awesome for stress and anxiety, and you can add it to the diffuser. It literally changes the mood in the room. You can add a little on your wrists and be breathing it in. Same thing with a Balance. Balance is a very grounding oil, so it's great for mood. And Copaiba is great for multitude of things, including immune system. That's why I'm taking it under my tongue every day. So this is a really nice package to get started with. The next one is the Healthy Start Kit. So this one is $160. It's $60 below wholesale. And it's going to come with the top 10 most commonly used oils, which you're going to see there, and a diffuser. The difference is the bottle size. So in the last kit, they were the full-size bottles, the 250 drops. This kit here is going to have the 5 ml, so there's about 85 drops. So 85 drops is still good. You're gonna have many applications. It's just that when a cold or bug hits your house, you are using them frequently. And if you've got 3 and 4 people in your family, there's a lot of you using them frequently. So it's a great place to start, but just know that ones like On Guard and you're gonna be going through those and breathe a little bit quicker. But it's still a really good way to get going. And then the last one here is a specialty kit. Let me see if I can move this around somewhere. Hang on. Okay, this one is available right now, and it includes a lot of products that we can't even buy right now because they're sold out, but they're still available in this package. This is the Immune Support Kit. It's $185. It has the Copaiba and Breathe and Oregano and On Guard in there. All those are really good for things that you're gonna need to have on hand right now. It also has the On Guard hand sanitizing mist. And so we are using that like crazy right now. So anytime we're done washing our hands and we're out in a restaurant or done shopping, we're spraying our hands off. And it has the On Guard soft gels. These soft gels were put together. They have not only the ingredients of On Guard in there, but it has extra oils in there that are very strong for boosting your immune system. And it has our probiotics, which are amazing scientific achievement. It is double encapsulated probiotics. So you're going to get the live cultures delivered into your intestine. So it's a much more powerful source of probiotics. And we're taking 2 of these a day right now. So you're going to get all of this together for $185. So this would also be a really great way to get started right now. Oh, here we go. Okay, the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about quickly is lifelong vitality. So if you take supplements or you don't take supplements yet, it's something to consider. We live in an age of supplementation. Our food supplies are just not what they used to be. So we're not eating the same quality of food that our grandparents ate. And because of that, we need to get our nutrients in a different form. And one of the ways that we can get them is through this lifelong vitality pack. I'm not going to go into all the science and all the ingredients because that can literally be a class in itself. But just know that packed inside of these is your multivitamin, your antioxidants, and your fish oils. And all of those are really important building blocks for the foundation of your immune system and for the energy portion of your body. So having these and taking these regularly is going to help give your body the ammunition to fight back. And so these are really, really critical. It's $79.50 for the 3-pack. And they've priced out all the ingredients separately if you bought them at some place like GNC, and it would be over $250 to buy all of the ingredients that are inside of these bottles. So if you, sorry, I'm gonna mute somebody. This would be a really important piece to add to what you're doing because it's gonna help with your cell function. These help bring down inflammation in the body. They help boost energy naturally. They help with mood. They help with sleep. They do a lot. So this is a really important piece that at some point, if you don't do it right now, please give them a shot at some point. Try them out for 30 days, see how you feel compared to how you were. What a lot of people notice is that while they're taking them, when they used to get that slump in the afternoon or get home from work and just feel too tired to do anything, they actually have energy to keep going. And that's what's really cool about these. So that's your lifelong vitality. So we're gonna take a minute right now. I'm gonna give you guys about a minute to write down your top 3 health concerns. And I'd like you to write them down and then text them to the person who invited you to this class. That way they can know the best way to help you. They're gonna take those top 3 health concerns. That can be for just you, or it can be for those in your household if you're thinking about your kids or your husband. And they can recommend the best way for you to get started. That's why this is so important. So just write them down and then text them to the person who invited you to this call. That way, when we're done with this call, you guys can connect. Because what would be great is for you to get on the phone with them right when we're done here and decide how you want to get started. That immune kit, that one that I showed you, This one here, I don't know how long, how many more days this is going to be available, because a lot of these on the On Guard soft gels and the sanitizing mist on their own are not available to be purchased. They're completely sold out. So I would encourage you to figure out what you want today and get it ordered. And whoever invited you to this webinar is going to have a special gift for you. So make sure that you connect with them right as soon as we finish here. That way you can talk over how you want to get started, what you want to work on, and then they can tell you what their free gift is for you. All right, so hopefully you've written down your 3 things. There's typically 3 types of people that come to our class. And so the first group are people who are excited to live a natural lifestyle and use natural products. And the great piece of that is that you're in the right place. We have a fantastic team who loves to educate our customers. We really want you guys to use these products. In fact, we offer free membership overviews. So what that means is after you pick out what you want, when that stuff comes in, we meet up with you, whether it's on Zoom or in person, if that's possible, and go over what you bought, because we want you to understand how to utilize what you have in your home. We don't want them to sit on a shelf. We want them to be used. So if that's you, please take advantage of that appointment. It's free. We offer our time as a thank you for you investing in your health care for your family. So we want you to take us up on that appointment so that we can really kind of write out a plan of what your health goals are for the next 30, 60, and 90 days, and what are the best ways for you to get started with that. The second kind of person who comes to these classes, they naturally like to share. So if you're the type of person, and you may find yourself in this boat in a few weeks, it's like after you start using them, when you're around people and you hear them talking about a headache, or they're not sleeping, or their child is stressed and so their digestion isn't good, you're like, oh, I've got an oil for that, I've got an oil for that. So if you find that you're sharing the oils with people, there is a plan for you, and doTERRA will compensate you for that if you're sharing consistently over time. And you can earn enough to actually pay for your oils every month. And so we call this essentially free natural health care. So if you're making enough money through doTERRA to pay for your needs of your family every month, for your toothpaste and laundry detergent and body wash and oils for your respiratory, digestion, headaches, your vitamins, all of that can be covered with doTERRA. You're essentially getting free natural health care. So that's group number 2. And then the third group are ones who, and this is where I fell into, I didn't know I would, but it's where you have a desire to educate others and build a business. I knew when we found these oils that this was different. This is something that I'd never come across before. And I knew I was going to be talking to people about it regardless. And so when I found out that I can make a paycheck doing it, I was like, well, why not? Like, I know I'm going to be talking to my friends about it. If I can make enough money that I could travel and help more people, then that's what I want to do. And so if you're in that group 2 or 3, please let us know, reach out to us. There's different ways that we can help you get going and to share with your friends. And something else I wanted to offer is if anybody is on this call right now or watching this recording and you'd like to host a class with your family and your friends, we can set that up. So let me know. I'll send you a Zoom link. You'll invite your friends and family to that, and I'll come teach. This is such an important topic for people to know and for people to understand, for the reasons of being able to help protect yourself and to have peace of mind. I cannot tell you how much peace of mind we have in our home right now because we know what we have in our hands. And it's helping us calm the fear, and it's helping us to not feel as stressed and to feel, we feel more in control. And so if you want to share that with your friends and family, we have a way to do that. And it's just like this. It's very simple. So if you want to do that, please let me know. And lastly, we've got continuing education for you guys. So this is like a whole new world that it kind of opens up for you. And there's a lot of different topics. Today, we kind of focus just on the basics and a little bit more on immune support. But you can see on the right side here, there's an education series called I Have Oils, Now What? We're one where we go over the nutrition and supplements. and a lot of different topics. And so these are going to be covered. It's 8 classes in total. They are rotating inside of a Facebook group. They're done live every Tuesday morning at 11. And you're going to have access to that. Once you are signed up and you're a part of our team, not only do you have access to this educational series, but we have a really awesome Facebook group where everybody's really supportive. We've got a ton of education in there. You can literally utilize the search bar and search by topic and find what people have been talking about over the years, what they're using. You're going to see some really fun threads. And we also have a Wellness Wednesday where I educate on one oil every week, and people share the different ways they've been using them, and I raffle it off. And it's just a fun way to continue growing your oil knowledge in a really simple way, and for everybody to hear from each other and how they're utilizing them. So that is pretty much it. What questions do you guys have? Feel free to unmute yourselves. I'm just going to look through the chat box while you think of something. Does anybody have any questions? No, you're good. You're so quiet.
I unmuted myself. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Well, I have a question. Are they safe for animals like cats or dogs? Are they gonna interfere with their health or immune system?
Do you want to take that, Dr. Yamamoto? Or you want me to
Sure
answer?
can. No, I got that.
Yay.
So I would say for the most part, all of our oils are extremely safe for, I'm sorry, let me back up. I'm a veterinarian. And so this is something that I do and that I'm very passionate about. So in regards to most of the oils, they are very safe for dogs and cats, as well as other pets, horses, livestock, things of that nature. My focus is dogs and cats. And the cool thing is with the new Healthy Essentials kit, everything in that lineup, I would say minus the deep blue, I would highly recommend for dogs and cats. Most of it being diffusion, being the best method. And then when you start to get into your larger dogs, 30 pounds and up, some of them can be applied topically, added internally. So yes, they are extremely safe for animals. And just like with us, you start with small amounts. I usually recommend diffusion of maybe 1 to 2 oils and on an intermittent setting when we're talking about our diffusers, which most of our diffusers you can set that way. So that would be the best way to do that. And then just ensuring that there's an open door for your dog or cat to leave, because remember that their nasal capacity is 10,000 to 100,000 times more sensitive than ours. So that's going to be huge. And then same with when you're adding them in orally, but that's a whole nother hours of chat that we can talk about.
I only add because my roommate, I'm for the oils. I love this, but I don't want her to stress out about if it would harm her cats or not.
Okay.
So
yeah,
that's why
and when we're talking about doTERRA oils specifically, they are going to be extremely safe for cats. And again, there's lots of talk as far as citrus oils. Every cat's different. One of the gals on this page or this chat right now, her cat does not do well with diffusion of citrus oils. Her cat actually throws up. So if they don't like it, they will leave and they'll let you know. Some do show other signs as far as vomiting, but I'm finding that that's few and far between. And Millie's cat specifically is kind of an unusual case, but one that we have to talk about. But no, let her know when we're talking about most oils for cats, they are very safe. And if you have any other specific concerns, like specific oils, I can readily answer that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good question. Anybody else? Nope. Okay. Well, it was so fun to be on here with you guys. I I highly encourage you, if you don't have oils yet, get them. One thing just to be aware of, obviously the demand right now is very, very high. So shipping might take a little bit longer than usual. And it may come in a couple different boxes because they're actually having to pull oils from different warehouses to ship them. So if your first shipment comes and it doesn't have everything, don't freak out. The other stuff might be coming from a different warehouse. So, but they'll get it to you. There's just, it's very high demand right now. So I hope you guys learn some stuff. And again, we have a lot of continuing education. So get them, meet with the person who signs you up once they come in, really figure out how to use them, be confident in using them. I know we've got a lot of people on here who have been using them for a long time. Elizabeth's a really good friend of ours. She actually came to my very first class, which would have been over 7 years ago, and she's utilized a ton out of them. I know she utilized them with her mom when she was caring for her mom. They're just a really great resource to have at any time, but especially right now.
I have a question, Beth.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yes.
would be your first go-to oil to replace On Guard?
So that's a really good question. So when a blend especially runs out, I think that we can easily look at the oils that make up the blend and we can go that route. So of course, like cinnamon, clove, those are rosemary are going to be really good. Then we've got some other oils that you may not use as often, like Arbor Vitae is a really good, powerful oil. So this is kind of like advanced oil education, but you'll just hang on with me for a second. Arbor Vitae is a really amazing oil. It comes from Canada. And how doTERRA got this oil, and they were the first company in the world to distill this oil. These trees are huge. Think of them like huge redwood trees. And when they fall down, they're impermeable to pests and disease, so they don't rot. And so Canada actually reached out to doTERRA and says, we've got these trees that are all over the place because they don't disintegrate. Can you come see if there's something that you can find useful with them? So they went up there and obviously, started working with them and distilling them. What Dr. Hill found under the microscope that's so interesting about Arbor Vitae is all the other essential oils, they call it a six-sided tropolone. What that means is when you look at it under a microscope, it's a six-sided thing. Arbor Vitae is seven-sided. It's the only seven-sided they've ever seen in nature. And so a lot of the bugs that are going around, you know how bugs can become resistant to things? They have not been exposed to this before because it hasn't ever been distilled before. So that's a really powerful one to have on hand. You can diffuse it, you can apply it topically. It's not one we take internally. But that would be really good. And then in the chat box, Millie's put in some of her favorites. So we've got Brave, which is part of the kids line, but they're not just made for kids. It's a really good one. She put Arbor Vitae. Oh, DDR Prime, you guys, I forgot to talk about this one. This one right now, hugely, hugely important because we want to have strong, healthy cells. We don't want weak, susceptible cells. And so DDR Prime is one that you want to be taking every single day right now. This is a blend of oils that goes through and helps with cell integrity. And so it is recommended daily anyways. That's why Dr. Hill created it, but really important right now for us to be having strong cells. Rose is a great one, copaiba or copaiba, really important. Oregano is obviously one of the big guns and something that you want to be using. You want to dilute that one. It's really hot, but you can put that on the bottom of your feet. You can put it in a capsule. That's a really good one. Frankincense. And another one from the kids line is called Stronger. And that has rose in it. So if you guys are familiar with rose, it's a very precious, expensive oil. So it's not one that a lot of us can afford to get on its own, but it's inside of that Stronger blend with another oil that we can't buy that's called Litsi. And that one is a really great oil to have. So any of those oils are going to be good. I think that immune kit right now is probably where I would start if it was me. because you're going to want the On Guard Plus and the PB Assist. It's got oregano in the roller in the touch form, so it's ready to go, already pre-diluted. Got a question, does our body build up a resistance? So this is cool, very cool. So the compounds in essential oils are always changing a little bit. So every year they distill them. It depends on how much rainfall was in the area, how much sunshine there was, what were the minerals in the soil that year. So every single bottle is going to be a little bit different. That little bit of difference helps our body not be able to become immune to them because they're not always exactly the same. So that's a good question. See if there's any others.
So one that wasn't mentioned that most of us already have is lemon eucalyptus. It's high antiviral properties. And the first use in our book, it says that it's good for bronchitis, asthma, cough, sinusitis, flu, and malaria. So I thought that was really interesting. But yeah, there's a lot of other oils that we could use that have high antiviral properties, huh?
Yes, definitely. Yep. Very, very good. Okay, you guys. Well, I think we're done. Thank you so much for being on. Please get a hold of the person who brought you on here. Like right now, call them up, talk about your top 3 health concerns, figure out the best kit for you to get started with. And again, if you want to do this with some of your friends and family next week or in the coming weeks, just reach out and we can do it via this form. And it's very easy and simple, and everybody can get this education, even if they happen to be stuck at home for a little bit.
Awesome. Thank you, Beth.
Okay, bye you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.